You are watching Joseph TV show, the place to be.
Unite! 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 We're going to the Burkina Faso embassy. So if you're in Accra in the area, asylum down, come and meet us there. There's a crowd there already waiting for us. We were at the Independence Square mobilizing. It's so fantastic. You can feel the power. Yeah, man. We're taking back our motherland. Africa does not belong to Europe. Africa does not belong to France. The French cannot tell us what to do. America, it belongs to us the blacks. America cannot tell us what to do. So today we are rewriting history. No more books about killed African leaders. The books right now are about African leaders who overcame colonizers. Yeah, it's great. Unite! 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 Unite!
President Ibrahim Traore has already warned those traitors that who they are in his government, that they are being used by Western countries and the European countries, who will dare to cross his line by joining those traitors, joined the Western countries to fight him, to get him out of the power, to be prepared, because he will never stop from the revolution that he has started. So traitors, be ready and get ready, because this is just the beginning of a movie. Yeah, this is just a trailer. The movie is coming. Please don't forget to hit the notification bell, like the video, to share with your family and friends too.
The West murdered Patrice Lumumba. They then dismembered him. They then dissolved him in acid. The West murdered Patrice Lumumba. They then dismembered him. They then dissolved him in acid and sent one of his teeth back to Brussels for safekeeping, for DNA. It was only returned to the Congo last year. He hated Belgian colonist government that was finally having to leave power. Took this fine man, probably the greatest of all African leaders.
Caught him on his way to Stanleyville and flew him back. Patrice Lumumba securely wrote. And with him were men who served in his cabinet when he was Prime Minister. They were bundled into a heavily guarded lorry and driven off towards a place called Binza. Lumumba had been under house arrest, protected by UN troops in Leopoldville, when he escaped. His recapture was quite a triumph for Colonel Mobutu, who now saw his enemy arise. Lumumba's bonds are tightened. They were taking no chances. And his wife and child watch his humiliation. The whole affair, of course, serves to underline once again the conditions prevailing in the Congo. It's not enough to arrest a man. He must apparently be beaten up as well. Then put him on trial later, no doubt. As for Mobutu's troops, they yelled and danced with joy. They had won a great victory. They had got Lumumba after trying to lay their hands on him for months.
Okay, we're here today at the White House. We're standing in solidarity with Burkina Faso. It is time for the liberation of Africa. Our people in Africa, they are suffering, the imperialists have taken over. And no more. We say no more. We stand to support President Ibrahim Traore. We stand to support all of Africa. The French, the US, no more imperialism. You cannot continue to extract our gold, our minerals, and leave our country impoverished. We say no more. So now we say we join all of Africa, the whole world at this time. We're going to the French embassy next. And we're going to make our proclamation that is how we free Africa. Everyone else is free. The entire world is free but Africa. We are the richest continent. We can continue to be the poorest. So yes, President Trump, I voted for you, but now I'm voting for Africa. Leave Africa alone. Leave President Traoré alone. Leave Burkina Faso alone. We are going to develop our country and our continent. Now is the time for us. And we said no to imperialism, no to France. Macron, we said no to you. We said no to President Trump. You are not your President Traoré. We stand with President Traoré. We stand with all of Africa.
Hands off,
Viva
President
Africa.
Traoré.
Viva Africa.
Hands off, President Ibrahim Traoré.
Yes, now we're going to the French embassy and we're going to make our proclamation there as well. No more to imperialism. No more.
Various organizations will also take the floor and show you how they help Burkina and the whole Africa, because we don't want what has happened to Kwame Nkrumah Sankara.
We will surf without any problem. So, invite everyone to be vigilant, because the enemy knows how to recruit and is still recruiting traitors. Just a few days ago, traitors were arrested. And who do I call traitors? It's those who are among us who continue to work to be agents for embassies of imperialist countries established in Burkina Faso. Some have been arrested, and we will continue to unmask others. They are there in our administration, they are there in civil society organizations, they are there in political organizations, and they manipulate others to lead them down paths that are, in any case, contrary to the progress of our homeland. And it is when we arrest them that we realize they are indeed agents of these countries, of the embassies of these imperialist countries also established in Burkina. Let's remain vigilant, because our revolution does not please many people. These local lackeys and sub-prefects who are there to execute the orders of their master, believing they can put an end to our revolution, should understand that we have taken all the necessary measures. And I say it once again, we will be ruthless and without remorse towards those who think they can stand in the way of the development of our homeland. We will continue our revolution. We will develop our infrastructure, whether in health, education, or road infrastructure. We will develop our industry, transform what we want, and consume what we have transformed. Burkina will shine. Despite those who are still nostalgic for the year 87, I repeat it. So, stay focused, stay vigilant, set your paths for the coming quarter and for the rest of the year, and we will remain on this path to victory. We will continue the fight on the ground to reclaim our various areas, and I can assure you that the progress made, the territories reclaimed in this first quarter are of strategic importance and have allowed us to establish ourselves up to the border. And that is very remarkable. We will therefore continue in this direction, zone by zone, step by step, to clean the territory and reclaim the entirety of our country. Thank you all. Have a good week. And good luck for the quarter that is beginning. Be those who also convey our ideology among the masses. Thank you. Have a very good day, everyone. And may God bless our dear homeland. The homeland or death, we shall overcome.
Every oppressed people around the world can now look to Burkina Faso and to Ibrahim Traoré and say liberation looks like it's actually possible. Burkina Faso isn't just a battleground today for the Burkinabe people. It's the front line in a global struggle for liberation. What Ibrahim Traoré is doing is echoing in the Sahel, in Niger, in Mali, across Africa, across the Ummah, across the global south, and across the world. Ibrahim Traoré led a coup against a government that was subservient to its foreign masters. You know, there's been many coups across the continent, but usually those just replaced one neo-colonial agent with another, usually. But Ibrahim Traoré is different. He's not just changing the government. He is uprooting the whole system of neo-colonial domination, and he's succeeding. He's understood what many people have failed to grasp, which is that independence is meaningless if you don't sever the control of the owners and controllers of global financialized capital. He's understood that security is a myth as long as it depends on the military patronage of your former colonizers. And he's understood that sovereignty is impossible under the shadow of Western tutelage. He's not merely a head of state. Ibrahim Traoré is the revolutionary archetype of the 21st century. He was forged in the reality of Western-backed insurgency and Western economic warfare and propaganda. Because, today the fight for freedom is not just waged by armies anymore, but by narratives and by resource policies and by alliances and by collective sovereignty. Traoré has made the choice to look towards Russia and Turkey and towards other new centers of power in the multipolar world. That's strategic. Not because they're perfect allies, but because he recognizes the necessity of breaking the Western stranglehold on Burkina Faso. This is pragmatism in service to principle. This again is the methodology of Middle Nation. It's engagement without submission, cooperation without subjugation. It's trade-offs without selling out. He also understands, crucially, that Africa's liberation cannot be rented from outside. It has to be rooted in the reclamation of Africa's own wealth. His moves to exert control over Burkina Faso's gold, building indigenous defense capacity and food sovereignty, these aren't just political decisions. These are acts of civilizational self-respect. It's a declaration that Africa's children will no longer be bled dry for the enrichment of Western imperial capital. So now America has said that they want to arrest him. They've already tried to take him out more than once, like I said. Now they're trying to smear him. They're trying to attack him. They sent the head of AFRICOM to the Ivory Coast a couple of days ago, which is a neighbor of Burkina Faso and which is known to have, allegedly anyway, participated in the killing of Thomas Sankara. Allegedly, they participated in the coups or helped to organize the coups against, coup attempts against Ibrahim Traoré. And the Western sycophantic leader that was overthrown by Ibrahim Traoré is in exile in the Ivory Coast right now. So they're getting ready for something. Understand, Ibrahim Traoré isn't simply a political figure. He's a turning point. Every oppressed people around the world can...
It's over now?
Yes. First you say the texts say, but they themselves have never respected their texts. It depends on who you are dealing with. That's what we have noticed. The sanctions imposed on Niger, they don't exist anywhere in the texts. So the first ones to violate these texts are these so-called Democrats. We are leaving, but we remain Pan-African. Anyone in Africa, an African who wants to come to Burkina, is welcome in their home, in principle.
But in the opposite direction, it's going to be complicated. Someone who is within the AES, we will talk about the AES in a moment. Someone who is within the AES, we can tell them they can no longer go to Burkina, they can no longer go to Côte d'Ivoire, they can no longer go to Ghana. It becomes a bit more complicated for those who do their business there.
We will see, and we will know what measures to take at an appropriate time.
Is this departure from ECOWAS well thought out, Mr. President?
Of course, very well thought out.
It's not a whim. It's not out of anger.
If it were out of anger, we would have done it a long time ago. I think we took the time to analyze the situation, to weigh many things, and finally, to decide. So, if it were a whim from the very first moments of certain sanctions, the people have been quite resilient, it must be said. They have suffered. So, during that time, we could have decided in anger. Now, we have taken the time to observe, to analyze the situation, and to convince ourselves of our strengths before deciding.
And you took everyone by surprise. Another element in this, let's say, this new way of shaping West Africa, the AES, the Alliance of Sahel States. Mr. President, is the AES viable? On paper, it's very, very appealing, but is it viable?
You know very well that it is more than viable. You know, for a long time, our people have been kept in a certain philosophy, always making us believe that we can't do anything without others. Today, our mission is to awaken consciousness. You are doing it very well, by the way.
Yes.
I appreciate it a lot. We need to awaken consciousness for the youth to realize what they have at home. An organization like this, you first need to realize its strengths, weigh its weaknesses, and after this analysis, you decide. The AES is very viable. Whether in terms of...
The economies, Mr. President, if I may, these are economies that are very integrated. You produce the same thing, you do exactly the same thing. Who will sell to whom? How is it going to trade? And what do we do about the fact that these are not countries with at least an opening to the sea?
Numbers are one thing.
It's over now.